Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock Doc podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. If you do not like this podcast, then you have serious mental problems and you need to see a doctor. And that's Jock Doc guaranteed. Introducing Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock Doc podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as motile trichomonads and rock the vote, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Dr. London, hey, trickety trackety, let's listen to this podcast kaditty.
Okay.
I'm trying out new taglines. We don't have a tagline. Have you noticed that? Everyone has been emailing me like, I don't know what to tell people your tagline is because we got nothing. We've kind of got not boring.
Yeah, not so boring was the...
Not so boring. But that's barely even a tagline. But the problem with this is, now that I've done a lot more research on this, most of the words that are used in the English language have been taken by other podcast taglines. Aww. 95% of which are murder podcasts. And then the other 5% being, of course, about like old defunct Westworld podcasts that everyone abandoned after the first season.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of forced to be a little loose, be a little liberal with what we could consider words. So right now I've settled on trickety trackety. Let's listen to this podcast because we can't use the word podcast in the tagline at all if we want to end up in court.
Well, you know that podcast is also in the name of our podcast.
Yes. That's fine.
Okay, but the tagline...
That's fine because it is a podcast. We can have that in the title, but the tagline itself, it just can't be done. So I've got podcast. I've got I've also got, oddly, the word porridge has not been used in a single tagline. We could just say, like, welcome to this porridge.
Okay, so the only issue I see with that is I'm not sure that porridge has a lot to do with, you know, our particular topic of medicine.
I feel like the implication is there. Like, I feel like context clues will just help a lot with this. Anyway, I don't mean to stop everything, but throughout the show, I'm gonna be testing a lot of these out.
Okay. All right. Well, so that was our producer Cameron, but also with us is Digital in the house. Digital in the house.
Dr. London, hey. Trickety trackety.
Trickety, 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 hey. Trickety,
Digital in the house.
trickety, 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 trick trackety. Let's listen to this podcast kaditty.
Oh, that is stanky.
Trickety, 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 hey. Trickety, hey. 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 Hey.
Digital in the house. That was a good one. And later, Cameron tells me we can expect, and this is kind of a big deal, 2 surgeons.
That's right, Dr. London.
Wow, and that's, you know, you bring on a lot of guests just from off the street, but it's really nice to hear that, you're actually bringing on real medical professionals. So I'm very excited for this.
And we got them 2 for the price of 1.
Okay. So you paid?
Well, it's not like paid. It's like you do the podcast or you're not going to get this thing back, or you're not going to see this person again. Like that. It's usually that kind of transaction.
So you mean, did you kidnap someone?
No. It's a transaction. But this time it's 2 for the price of 1.
So you kidnapped one person? For that,
the details you're announcing the details of the contract to the public, which you should not do. These are contracts, Dr. London.
Okay, well, before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So I found this note tie-dyed in sequence into the undergarments that I had left drying on a clothesline outside. The note reads, quote, "Good day. My name is to enjoy you pleasure. I send this inquiry in regards to some urinal. Please kindly get back to me for payment for good time and beautiful ladies." End quote. So, first of all, thank you so much for reaching out to us here at the Jock podcast.
Yes.
We love to hear from listeners. To answer your question, I actually do not think that we are currently in the urinal selling business. But I do want to ask, Cameron, have you been selling urinals?
I have not been selling urinals, but I can kind of see where maybe this is going. Is that I've been selling sort of our podcast to be played above urinals. Sometimes like in a sports bar, they'll have like a little screen or whatever. It might be showing a game, or it might just be kind of like rotating through announcements.
Right.
I've kind of contracted out above urinals at these sports bars. So you go to the bathroom, you're going to take a piss, and then just our podcast is, the second you start peeing, it starts blaring as loud as possible. You don't know it because it's off when you walk in. It's silent. And then the second you start going, it starts going, Jock Podcast.
Okay, so...
And right now, that's the bulk of our listeners.
Yes.
So, all 2 of our listeners. Wow. So they're paying us. So okay. Well, at least we're getting paid for this. That's nice.
Oh yeah. I mean, I only had to pay them like $6,400 to do that.
Okay, because it's not because in this email.
I think you're ignoring the biggest part of this email, which he says, like, get back to me for a good time. That means he's not having a good time with our podcast, Dr. London.
Well, I should
That's
clarify.
Concerning.
It's not an email. It was written into my undergarments on the clothesline outside. But yeah, I guess
right.
Their principle remains. Is that what you think an email is?
Yeah, an email is just any exchange of words after like 1995. So if it's written on a Post-it note, if it's sent through snail mail, if it's skywriting, if it's through the trades, like if you're sort of like giving people secret messages through the trades, all of that's an email.
Okay, well, you're the tech guy between us.
Like Zodiac type letters, if that were to be sent today, you would say, oh, that's the Zodiac's email.
Okay. Well, now for today's medical topic, silicosis.
Whoa, hold on. He's looking for fun. We've got an opportunity here with this whole tagline thing to like make this podcast a little more fun and attract and keep these listeners.
Okay. So what?
Okay, so can we just real quick, we're just going to go one word at a time. We're going to tagline this, okay?
The podcast. Okay.
The tagline.
For the podcast, though.
Is this the tagline for the tagline or the tagline for the podcast? It's impossible to tell. All right, ready?
I guess.
Fish.
Chomp.
Fish, chomp, blue.
Fins.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, I feel
Fish,
like
chomp, blue, fins. It's the Jock podcast.
I feel like we may need
available in 6 U.S. states.
I don't see how that's really, applying to any of what we are.
You want to stick with just the word porridge?
No, I think not so boring's pretty good though.
All right, we're just going to work with porridge for right now, but we're going to keep working on this. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, now for today's medical topic, silicosis. Silicosis is a localized and nodular peribronchial fibrosis, more common in the upper lobes of the lungs. Silicosis can be acute, following massive exposure to silicone, leading to rapid onset and death. But it can also be chronic, with symptoms showing years after exposure. It is also associated with an increased risk of tuberculosis. As it is an environmental lung disease, patients should be asked about exposure to mining, stone cutting, and glass manufacturing, as these are situations in which silica can be inhaled. Exertional shortness of breath is the main presenting symptoms. They can also have cough with sputum and restrictive pulmonary function abnormalities.
All right. Hold on. Okay. Because this is, I get where you're coming from now. You complain a lot that the podcast is not serious enough, and it's not medical enough, and it's not educational enough.
Right.
And so I'm trying to appeal more to you and to your kind and to the kind of people you're trying to attract. So,
oh yeah, like our guests.
Yeah. So the Jock podcast. Localized nodule cribrosis with chronic glass manufacturing external cough sputum.
Okay, I feel like, so you got some of those keywords right, but I feel like you didn't really use them in an order that makes sense. And those are for a specific diagnosis as opposed to a description of a medical education podcast. Do you see?
I mean, I feel like I'm hitting all the hits here. I mean, I is there nothing I can do correct in your eyes, oh doctor?
Well,
Welcome to the Jock podcast. Localized nodular cribrosis with the chronic glass manufacturing external cough sputum.
If you heard that, would you think, oh, that'd be a nice medical education podcast?
I would think this podcast must be for geniuses, because I don't know what's going on, and if I want to maybe learn something, I need to check it out.
Okay, I feel like that's not the message I get. But
this is the strongest one we've come up with so far, and I think it appeals both to, my kind of people, like the fun, kooky kind of people, and your kind of people, the doctors, the people who avoid taxes, the people who are super wealthy, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, anyway, just to finish up here, on imaging, eggshell calcifications may also be seen on chest x-ray, and treatment, most importantly, does involve removal from exposure to silica, and, also supportive care. But, yeah, I'm really not seeing how that whole idea would make a good tagline. We're really just...
DJ Dylan?
Yes.
Make that tagline cool as hell. Welcome to the
Jock podcast. Localized nodular cribrosis
with a chronic glass manufacturing external
cough sputum.
Okay.
You're telling me you don't like that?
No, that was better than I thought it could be.
The Jock podcast. Localized nodule cribrosis with a chronic glass manufacturing external cough sputum.
Not so boring. Let's just move on then. All right, Cameron, do we have a sponsor today?
That is right, Dr. London. I actually am very, very excited about this sponsor. I'm always excited about our sponsors, of course, but this is incredible technology. Are you excited to hear about it?
Yeah. We're always trying to be on sort of the cutting edge, both with our medical knowledge, but also with, any sort of technological front, especially with telemedicine.
Well, this not a telemedicine company, though maybe this could be something that you could use to, I don't know, impress some of your patients. This is actually a clothing company that we're working with. And they've invented something here, which is incredible, which I'm sure you've seen people who have, kind of t-shirts, and they might have like sort of different light up displays on them, or you've seen like maybe a holographic looking kind of image on the shirt. This company, they've been able to put full huge GIFs, moving images on t-shirts. Isn't that, that's amazing, right?
Oh wow, like So like a short video.
I would assume like what's your favorite GIF, Dr. Leonard? Is there a GIF that you see on the internet every once in a while?
Yeah, I think it's from like an infomercial, a guy who's holding a bunch of stuff and then he trips and
I know
drops
exactly what you're talking
everything.
about. Yeah, you could put that on a shirt. Or I have one where a guy, he's like eating something and then he gives a thumbs up. I think that one's hilarious. And
You've got mail.
Oh wait, hold on. I just got an email from the company. They said
Okay.
they're still working on the feature to have custom gifts like that, but currently you can choose from the gifts that they self-select. Okay, that's cool. So for right now, you can't upload your own gifts, but the company I'm sure has like some awesome little looping funny images and different animations, and who knows maybe SpongeBob is on there. I don't know. Who knows that.
You've got mail.
Okay, it says no SpongeBob, no Spider-Man, no characters of any kind.
Well, that's specific, but like the one I mentioned might have.
Yeah, or maybe is it a
are
gif
they
of
listening
someone
in on
like giving
us?
maybe it's just a gif someone giving a thumbs up or smiling.
You've got mail.
Oh, wait, hold on. No, I got another email that says no, nothing like that. Actually, we've only been able to get one GIF to work so far, and it's of a rat giving birth.
Okay. So really, it's not so much a GIF shirt as it is a GIF of a rat giving birth shirt.
Yeah, I get it's. Well, I mean, it is a GIF shirt. It's just the only GIF that can exist on it is
You've got mail.
one. Oh, he sent it over. Oh man, that is gross.
That's there's a lot of blood for one thing, and it mixed with the fur.
So I guess Dr. Lynn, we cannot lose this sponsor. We can't be like grossed out or rude about it.
Yeah, you were telling me like this is our best sponsor so far, just in terms of communication and how sort of excited both parties were to have them on
Just
the
that it's
podcast.
written in an email rather than like a series of toilet paper rolls is huge.
Mm-hmm. That's brand new for you.
So
okay,
for our listeners, if you want a cool piece of technology and you want to wear to school or wear to your job, or Dr. London wear to your hospital or whatever, if you want to wear a cool moving shirt of a rat giving live birth, well, I guess mostly live birth. That one's not moving. God, man.
Okay, and also
if you want to wear a shirt
what's
with
the name?
rat giving birth and maybe having like a partial miscarriage, then you just want to contact our sponsor, deadratshirt.com.
Okay, so they bought the appropriate URL.
Yeah, it sounds no. The weird thing is that it's called Dead Rat Shirt, and this is the opposite of death. It's them giving life. I guess it's ironic in that way.
It's not the complete opposite, because
it's all mixed in there, isn't it?
Of what's being birthed.
I mean, I guess that's kind of beautiful. It's it's life and death, sort of, yin and yang, kind of all tangled in there.
I guess there's some poetry in there, I'm sure.
I don't
but
even think the GIF has looped once. It's just been playing this whole time for like 10 minutes. I feel like if they can fit this on a shirt, they should be able to fit the guy giving a thumbs up or whatever, right?
I would think so. I've been critical of sponsors before, and then we lose them.
I don't know the tech. Well, anyway, deadratshirts.com. Just go there, get your shirt, and wear it to school.
I'm sorry. Just for the listeners, because I'm not positive about the situation, but so the shirt came over on a person. Like, someone's wearing it and it looks blocky, and I'm wondering if it's like if there's just a screen cut out. Anyway.
Oh, you think the person that they came over to demo it just had like a TV under their shirt?
Because it looks like sort of a Teletubby attempt, like that style of having a belly.
Yeah.
But like, it looks really boxy.
Yeah. It looks messed up, is what it looks
Yeah,
like.
and no offense to you, sir. That we're just describing the product, which I guess as you present it. All right, thanks. Okay, so anyway, I guess, but we don't want to lose our sponsors. So, no, if this is the sort of apparel that you prefer to wear, then sure, our listeners. What was the name of that website again?
It's deadratshirt.com. Use the promo code. The rat is giving birth.
All right. Yeah, and enjoy. All right, Cameron, you said that we have guests today, and they're actually, real surgeons. And for our listeners who don't know, so surgeons, any doctor is going to will have undergone a large education, but a surgeon in particular, they go through their 4 years of university, undergraduate level university, then 4 years of graduate level medical school, plus 5 years of surgery residency minimum. And, we're going to find out from them about their specializing, anyway, just all that to say.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I'm sure not everyone has to do all of that kind of stuff. I'm sure if you're smart, you can kind of skip some stuff and kind of speed stuff along. Just because people didn't go as slow as you did when you went to medical school, Dr. London, I shouldn't hold that against people, your jealousy.
Yeah, he's not even saying the words right. It's Sir Guion, so...
Okay, yes. And this is...
Oh, and see, that is interesting. It is interesting how there's so many words that come from other countries or other languages, and when they get over to America, we just botch them, or we say them incorrectly, or, I read it all the time, but I never hear it. And so how do I pronounce it?
Sir Guion.
Sir Guion?
No, this is not French. We're not French Sir Guions.
We're not French.
No French.
Sir Guion?
Sir, the way I've come to understand how to pronounce it is Sir Guion, which is, of course, Irish for man who does the surgery.
Yeah, because only men can do surgeries.
That's right.
Especially this type of surgery.
Okay, so I think now's a good time to introduce our guests. All right, could you introduce yourselves?
Hi, yes, hello. My name is Dr. Surgeon Sean O'Cuddigan. And, of course, with me, as always, my colleague, Jameson McPatsycline.
All these years, it's McPatsycline, and I'm about to retire. I'm about to retire, and you still can't get it right.
I've never really been a big... I'm more of a faces guy. I see your face, and I go, I remember that face.
Your face?
And I've remembered it ever since we did our residency at Massachusetts General Hospital.
Dr. McPatsycline, how many days left do you have until retirement?
Ooh, a little bit too many. It's like right under 70. I can't. It's somewhere in the 60s, upper 60s.
Wow, it's amazing.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'd have to count, but us Irish don't do that.
Oh, you guys are Irish.
Yes, we are Irish surgeons, and I know you've heard all the jokes before. Laugh it up, ha 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 ha. We've heard them, especially around what we've been doing lately.
The jokes about how Irish surgeons always have a Shamrock shake in one hand while they're doing the surgeries, right? I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not trying to bring up stereotypes like that. I'm really not. I'm not trying to upset you, but that's what people say.
But we just want to say we've heard all the jokes already. Okay. Can we move on?
Well, I guess given that question, the question is kind of hanging in the air. Could you either endorse or dispel that in a given surgery? Are you holding a Shamrock shake? Just to
Are you accusing us of magic? What do you mean dispel?
Jameson doesn't know a lot of words. You'll have to really spell it out for him.
I think it would be D-I-S.
I'm telling you, we're not magicians. We're Irish. We're Irish circumcisionists, sir.
Oh, so that's the kind of surgery that you guys do.
Yes, we are surgeons, and we work within the art of circumcision.
Did you... Because this sounds like one of those topics that's more covered under general surgery, or I guess more specifically pediatric surgery.
Surgery, if you will.
Sorry, I guess are you originally from Ireland? Is that why? Maybe that's why I'm not getting the pronunciation the same.
Does that really matter for you? I mean,
Unfortunately for Dr. London, it really, really does.
so
Jameson is a little touchy about his Irish heritage. I personally am a 19th generation immigrant. And of course, my colleague Jameson is from, where did you say you were from again?
well, you know what? It doesn't really matter, but there's a boat involved.
Overseas, then?
No, I have a yacht that I'm retiring to.
That's where you're from, is a yacht that you're retiring to?
None of your business.
I'm really sorry.
I'm-
Why are we
I'm
getting
the-
into
I'm
their
the doctor
private
here.
business?
I'm the
Dr.
Yeah, I'm
doctor
sorry.
here.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about the differences between the pronunciation of surgery and surgery, and I'm not here to talk about the fact that we are Irish surgeons and it's neither here nor there. I'm here to talk about our brand new venture. Can we please just
Yes.
This is
all I want to hear about. I want to hear why you guys are here. I want to hear what you got going on.
Yeah.
What you got under the hood?
We've teamed up, me and Mr. How do you pronounce it again? McPatsycline?
McPatsycline, yes.
Jameson, me and my colleague Jameson McPatsycline, and our assistant Blaine Hill, who does a lot of the cleaning. We have opened up one of the world's very first circumcision parlors.
Okay.
Because we found ourselves after all 3 years of medical school that we went to, finding it difficult to pay back our student loans for medical school. And of course, when things get dire, you got to turn to the thing you love and turn it into a meaningful side hustle.
They say if you cut a penis off every day, you'll never work a day in your life.
And I'm hearing more about these kind of side hustles like this. Like everyone's getting into Uber or doing DoorDash and things like that. I mean, is this something are you trying to, like, what kind of market are you guys trying to compete with here?
Yeah, well, let me tell you, like, you could do Uber or you could take the route that I did. I'm about to retire to a yacht, and I just took the route of being a self-employed circumcisionist.
So what is it that y'all do though? Like at these like you say circumcision parlor, you just kind of ended it at there. Like we're supposed to know what that means. I need to hear.
Oh, do you not know?
You don't know?
Do you not know?
You're not educated?
I've never been. This is really embarrassing. I've never been to one. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Have you been to a barber shop?
Wait, Dr. Lennon, have I been to a barber shop?
It's the place where they cut your hair. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, it's scary. And,
nightmares.
when you have
about it. Those scissors right near your ears.
Yeah. And see,
and you don't want just somebody taking care of your hair like that.
Yeah.
We saw that as a big hole in the market,
gaping.
and we decided to say, hey, you know what? We're gonna make sure that there are professionals, certified professionals there to. Unlike a Bo Ricks or a Fantastic Sam's where any jag-off can come in there with scissors. No, we wanted to take the care it needed to perform circumcisions in our brick and mortar circumcision parlor, started by me, Sean O'Cuddigan, and my longtime associate Jameson how do you pronounce it? McPatsycline?
It's Patsycline. Yes, and also this is a space for people who are alarmed, scatterbrained, afraid, and so we don't have just chairs. We were like, this feels like a doctor's office. What do we need? Coin-operated horses, make you feel comfortable.
For the patients?
When was the last time you got circumcised? And I'm throwing this question out to all of us.
Oh gosh, oh man, it's got to be like. I would say, like, the reason by Hoobastank was on the radio a lot. So it's got to be, we got to be talking like 04.
Yes.
And now, did you get this, like, what time of day? Did you do this during, 5 to 7 p.m., like half-off specials? Or did you go late night like normal people do?
Oh gosh,
Did you tip?
Yeah, the radio that was playing Hoobastank, I remember there weren't a lot of commercials on at the time, so it was probably kind of their rush hour mix, so it would have been either 8 a.m. or 5 p.m.
somewhere between what you would call normal business hours.
Yeah.
You had to take a day off school, had to take a day off work.
To prepare for
Yeah.
the appointment that would come after work, yeah. So one thing you brought up with this sort of open market, so a lot of people are, these days are kind of scared to go to their barber to get a haircut. And so I'm wondering, you mentioned the horsey thing, but is there, do you maintain sterile field? This is a standard surgical.
Of course.
Area.
So we do have sterilization techniques. It's, I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's like a brown liquid. You get it like half off from 5 to 7. But all other times it's about $4 plus a tip. So we do sterilize.
Yeah. And I hear your concerns, especially in this day and age, about protecting our clientele from pathogens and especially at a high risk thing like this. And I want to address that by saying, when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay, because if you leave it at that, that's you kind of already made that point with the whole with your I guess you really enjoyed cutting into male genitalia.
Okay, well, first of all, how dare you?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Second of all, bigot. Third of all, double, triple bigot. We usually say a person with a peepee. It is more of a medical term.
And I do, real quick, I just want to mention, I've been in Dr. London's office, and he has no brown liquid anywhere going on. And so when I hear you talk about this, I'm suddenly concerned that I've been in a doctor office where there's just pathogens walking around everywhere.
They're more hop, if you will.
Ugh, that's disgusting. I've never seen... Dr. London, what is going on here?
Well, to some extent, I'm not as familiar with the standards for medical procedures and sterilizations in Ireland. So perhaps some of these are customs from across the pond. I know, maybe some of our listeners will chime in, because I think we do have some from Ireland, from England, from Scotland. But
you brown liquidless coward.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I want to
Doctor,
clarify. We currently are operating out of Redford, Michigan.
Oh, okay. But so you're licensed in the U.S. though?
Yes, United States of America. Yes.
Okay. So you would be following proper protocols for your location then?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, well that's okay for the listeners.
I noticed that you made a fun face when you said that.
He winked heavily there.
No, he didn't.
Is that me? I got something in my eye, and it must be because it's so damn sterile in here.
I just saw a funny, silly face.
You think Irish people have funny faces?
I think when they're telling funny jokes, yeah.
Can we skip the jokes about how Irish people have funny faces
when they tell
and
jokes?
Often wink uncontrollably?
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Well, now look, this brown. We take cleanliness seriously, and that's why we use the brown liquid, and we just let it flow around. We let it flow, and it really helps people kind of loosen up to the idea that they're about to get circumcised. Some people for the first time since 2004, when Hoobastank's The Reason was on the radio.
It flows more, especially between 5 and 7 p.m.
Yeah, we run a special from 5 to 7 p.m.
Where it's half off, you had said, right?
Or 2 for 1, whatever chops your cock.
Yeah.
We have a variety of specials that we roll out every day from 5 to 7. Honestly, what I've learned from my time at this circumcision parlor is that there's a community of us, who like to go in every now and then for a trim up. There really becomes a sense of community within the parlor, and we have a great time there. I mean, Thursday night is ladies' night.
Oh, wow.
Come on by.
Do y'all get a lot of ladies coming through the circumcision parlor? Is that right?
Okay, now why are you mocking us? Why are you mocking us?
I'm trying to honor y'all's
You think we say that word weird? You think we say that word weird? Because I've just been saying it normal.
No, Jameson, he was just trying to reach us on our level, you know? I appreciate it.
I don't appreciate it. Before my retirement party?
Please put your fist down. Why are you holding your fist up at me, sir? I'm really sorry. I wasn't trying to.
And rotating them, kind of, and
how else? If you're gonna talk shit about circumcision, I'm gonna fight you.
And you know what? I'm not trying to talk S about anything over here. I just want to know, like, y'all have compared it to getting a haircut, like going to like the barbershop. Is this are people getting like designer circumcisions?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it's not
Now,
just like the straightforward cut like that you're expecting.
Oh no. You know what? I've been so invested in the community of recurring circumcision that I forgot that some people just don't know about the process. No. Now, typically you either leave it alone as a baby, and then other times you get it dealt with. You get it just what we like to call just a Bic razor. A really boring, just utility first.
Yeah.
Cut.
A shaved head, if you will.
Is it sort of like
like
a barbershop where people come in with maybe photos of celebrities or things like that? Like maybe they show you a picture of Michael Chiklis and they say, I would like it to look like that, or.
Mm-hmm. I specialize in doing different logos. I've done the BMW logo, a Nike logo, the Republican GOP logo.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it all. And these people walk out with such a smile on their face, and I have a smile on my face too, knowing that they're out there confident in their cut.
See, and I'm more of a like kind of old school guy, which is why I'm phasing out, because I just focus on balls mainly,
Oh wow, yeah. Sometimes like the most forgotten part of circumcision.
All right, what are you talking about?
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, would you mind if I jumped in here for a moment? Because I do have a question for clarification. So it is my understanding, and once again, I'm not I dabble in surgery, but I'm not, committed to surgery as a specialty like you. Usually circumcision is a one-time thing because that particular part of the male genitalia doesn't tend to grow back usually.
Well, I hear your concern, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that we really just have a love for the game, and we can't see a life doing anything else. And because when I look in the mirror, I say to myself, you are a man that does circumcision. And and I think that's why I'm so passionate about it right now.
And I mean, Dr. London, does that answer your question?
Okay. No, I feel, and maybe it's just a lack of understanding on my part, because once again, you are the ones who specialize in this.
I'm sorry that his passion isn't enough for you, Dr. London. I am so sorry, guest. He's always like this with our guest.
Why are we talking to a dabbler? Just dabbling in surgery?
I'm sorry. It's more to, we have you on here actually to educate our listeners. So it's, it's not so much for us to speak now, although I think to some extent we are colleagues. But in any case,
No.
Dr. Patsycline.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about the scrotum, which I feel that
hold on. I never said anything about scrotum.
Okay, maybe I
specifically said balls. I'm more of an old school guy who focus on balls. So when this fancy new boy taking over the practice, he's putting BMW logos on it, Ferrari horses. I kind of just was carving basketballs and footballs, baseballs, more of like a sports base.
But especially now with the times changing and all these like old school gender roles, maybe it doesn't have to be like a basketball or a baseball. It could be maybe like something girlier, like a horse. Horses are girly.
You're saying a Ferrari horse is girlier than a WNBA basketball?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so.
Okay. I think there is a horse-based team in the NBA, so that is kind of, that's on par with our practice.
A horse-based team?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm also not as familiar with basketball, so I guess I really am. Maybe I'm out of my depth here.
Well, if you ever want to learn about basketball, maybe come by our circumcision parlor in Redford, Michigan, and we can watch one of the many games. We always have a game going behind the beyond the tool chest.
Tool chest?
Definitely not a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because there's a lot of guys out there. They sometimes bet on the games. It gets a little rowdy. We're mostly a Celtics parlor.
I know more than anyone. You get a group of guys together. You get some sort of brown liquid sterilization juice going. People are going to be throwing money down on sports. Let me tell you.
Yeah. See, and everybody's having fun, and we do our last circumcision call at usually 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Around 2 a.m.
Yeah, 2 a.m.
And you know what's funny is a lot of people they come by the parlor, especially these days. They come by the parlor and they don't even want a circumcision. They don't buy a circumcision. They don't seem interested in the circumcision. But I think it's just the nature of the community that we've built that brings people out to just hang out in the parlor.
Yeah, just like how you might not need a haircut right now, but you miss your old buddies. So you know what? I'm going to pay the money. I'm going to get the haircut anyway. And yeah.
A lot of people are quitters. A lot of people are like, the circumcision's too much for me, and I just can't keep on doing that every day, and they kind of like quitters,
Is that why you're looking to retire? Too many quitters in the game?
Too many quitters, yeah. I'll dabble here and there,
Well,
but
and at some point I would assume that people would run out of foreskin. I don't know if that's been an issue. I know
I mean, you kind of sound like somebody who would run out of foreskin, but most people that I've met have an abundant, I'd call it even maybe a thick skin.
Do you look at bald people and go, oh, you must have just run out of hair because you got too many haircuts? It doesn't work like that. Our cells are constant, as doctor to doctor, surgeon to regular doctor. Let me just say,
surgeon to dabbler,
cells regenerate. Cells multiply. It's a thing called multiplicity, and our cells are going through it all the time, and that's why you can actually stretch your foreskin out. It's called jelking, in order to rebuild your foreskin. In order for us to take another crack at the design we were going at the first time. So there's really nothing at risk, and there's nothing that should hold you back from getting yourself, maybe a nice little Jock logo, just a little team pride.
Yeah, it sounds like the only thing at risk here is that some Adidas fanboys might see my Nike logo and try to start some trouble. Am I right? I mean,
yeah, and that's the worst part, because when you see somebody that has like a bad logo down there that you disagree with, a lot of times other people just try and like suck it off to be like, you need to put a Nike swoosh on there. None of this Adidas smut.
Now, yeah, because constantly kids will come in and like, give me the old swoosh. And I go, you sure about this? You know how the people who like Adidas might take this? And they go, yeah, I'm sure.
Wow.
And I haven't gotten a complaint, so.
Brave souls.
Some people change their mind. They come back a couple days and we suck it off them, and then we put on a new logo.
There are just a few points of confusion for me on this part. And once again, this could just be from I don't specialize in this particularly. If everyone is seeing that a given person endorsed a given sports brand, say like Nike or Adidas, how are they seeing...
Or Skechers.
Is this like a region specific thing in Michigan where
Sperry's
people are exposing their genitalia to others in order to, and then someone will recognize a logo on it? Because I don't see this situation happening in normal day-to-day life where someone sees the logo on accident and it becomes sort of it sounds kind of like a gang issue. Yeah.
I think I do see what's going on here, and it is easy, and I do relate with this because I know my 3 years in medical school, I came out being like, what's up and down? When you're in academia for so long, you kind of let society slip away from you.
Yeah, you lose sense of the world.
In pursuit of expert knowledge in one specific field. And the answer to your question is, if I learn more about circumcision every day, and I wouldn't have any other career path. If I could go back and do it all again, I'd do it the exact same way, except maybe a couple things what we'd do differently. But for the most part, yeah, to answer your question, yeah, mostly the
And that's
same.
why you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right.
You're damn right. I will never work a day in my life.
I mean, Dr. London, is this are y'all gonna offer Dr. London a job? I gotta ask. I feel like this he'd have to come in as an intern at first. Obviously, he has to like learn the ropes.
Now,
is this something
Dr.
you kind
London-
of be interested in?
I do. I have one question. That will determine whether or not you are O'Cuddigan's material. And the question is this. Do you want to go where everybody knows your name?
Yes.
Well, for work, yeah. Well, like usually you have an ID that you wear, and your name will be generally. They'll say this is the surgeon who is performing the surgery. Like people are usually made well aware of who is doing it, and if you have a team that you work with regularly, then sure, I would expect that. But I feel like I do get that at my own practice as well. So, and Cameron, just to clarify here, I don't know that I would want to work in this particular practice. I have a few reservations about it, and I don't.
Don't say you don't want to work for them in an interview, Dr. London. I'm trying to get you the job.
Yeah. So,
Oh, you're trying to pass him off.
No, I just think this would be a good, interesting field for him. It sounds like, I mean, if you're able to retire back on the yacht that you grew up in, I feel like this would be a great avenue for Dr. London to sort of move towards.
You know what? There is, after the however many days it's going to take for retirement to hit for Jameson, I believe it's something around 65, 68, something like that. There will be a change in the hierarchy here at O'Cuddigan's. We're gonna lose our veteran, which means I'm gonna become the veteran, and our dishwasher, our assistant, will be moving up to apprentice. So we are looking for a new assistant. Is this something that would interest you?
I don't think so, because once again, I am a practicing physician already, so I feel like assistant.
Yeah, he's not confident enough in his credentials. That's
Yeah,
what the
when are you
issue
going to
is.
stop practicing and actually start working?
Okay, and is this
Because you can put in all the practice. Hey, they say practice makes perfect, but perfect ain't shit. Get to cutting.
That is an old Irish proverb.
okay? Because I've heard it, and I didn't want to say it in case that was offensive. Maybe if I said it, it would have been.
It depends on how you pronounce circumcision.
I've got two questions. Dr. London, can I ask two more questions
Sure, but
here? Just real
then
quick.
I should remind you we do have chores to get to.
Okay. Question number one is 5 to 7, half off on the brown sterilization liquid. Does that also include the other kind of, maybe the clearer liquids, sterilization liquids? Because I usually do more of a darker liquid with Coke, typically.
No mixed sterilization. No wine.
When he's off, when he's out, we let it slide. But
I'm a purist.
Yeah. If I'm on my shift, then yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're one of those like cash only,
90 proof
only brown sterilization
purist.
liquid type of
Yes,
places.
sir.
I
That's
see
right.
what you're saying.
That's right.
Hey, I can respect that.
Yeah.
We
And then the other-
we don't want to go through the whole rigmarole of having a health inspector come in because they don't understand our business or our art. Very few do. And for them to be like, oh, you can't be serving this here, or you don't have a food license, or it's just like, okay, can't we just live? Jeez.
That's why I'm getting out of the game.
I mean, you got to have something to eat to go with the brown sterilization liquid, Dr. London.
Well, I don't you normally don't drink that is, I guess, my issue there.
Well, no, that's half off between 5 and 7. Get a couple of those bad boys in your stomach. I mean, I'm gonna need some chips and queso or
Nope.
something to snack on a little
Peanuts
bit.
only.
Oh, it's a peanut only. Is this part of the old school
Yeah,
thing?
they're free, but peanuts for everybody.
We will sometimes allow outside food. I mean, there's a really great plastic surgery pizza place just down the street, so we allow
wow.
outside food.
Yeah, it's called Pizza Face.
Okay.
And if you're looking for a place to get a good cup of sterilization liquid, hang out with some buddies, watch the game,
Maybe get your favorite sports team, like
Cut into your penis? Yes. Calm down.
It's a place where everyone's going to know your name. Because, making your way in the world today, it takes everything you got.
Yeah. And cheers to that, bud.
that is. I mean, can I do this again?
Great. Well, I feel like that's as good a time as any to, sort of finish up this portion because we really, and Cameron, I hate to say it, but like we do have chores that we have to get to.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so
I hate
yeah,
chore
so
day.
okay, so for any listeners who are unaware, we basically we here at the Jock podcast have been putting off chores. We just have these assignments that we just need to do, and we put them off for so long that now it's just a mountain of them. So we organize them into spokes on a wheel. So we spin the wheel to find out what the chore is for today.
Now, the biggest slice of pizza on your wheel is to check out the Big Time Garbage podcast, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's and that will be added, I guess. So, okay, so that's another chore to add. Great. More chores for the future. So
Just another thing to add to the damn list. It's never gonna
Big Time
end.
Garbage podcast. Great. No, it's no, we need more chores. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
Just spin the wheel. Go ahead and spin the wheel,
Okay,
London.
let me climb up the ladder and jump. Oh.
All right, it says build the Cybertruck. Oh, I was really hoping we were going to have to do this one.
Okay.
All right, so let me explain this to the listeners. So I was playing bocce ball the other day with Elon Musk, and we were playing bocce ball, and then we were also sending children into his kid-sized submarines, and we were kind of just shooting them down into a tunnel. I don't know where they went; they did not come back up. But we were just joking around, and we were just like, Elon, like, what's going on with the Cybertruck? I know you debuted this thing, but what the hell's going on with it? And he was like, dude, I've got no idea, but that's your job now. So this is what we got to do. And guys, if y'all can help as well, if our guests can help as well, we're just going to like go through what features we want to see in the Cybertruck. We're going to make a list. And we're going to design the most badass truck imaginable.
Number one.
Is that cool with you guys?
Yeah, I'd say number one.
Yeah.
No computers.
Okay.
I like it.
Which
Because you don't want to be distracted playing like Minesweeper or whatever the hell while you're trying to drive.
Well, although I could see that being helpful depending on where you're driving. But okay, so no computers.
Oh, like if you were driving
Mines.
near a field
Yeah.
with a lot of mines. Yeah, that
So-
actually
Do you
would
guys
be
normally
helpful.
drive around those minefields?
In a Tesla truck, in a Cybertruck, I don't know where I'd drive.
Okay.
It's new territory for me.
That is true. Until we like figure out what's going to go on in this truck, because we don't even know what terrain it can work on yet. So I mean, like the typical, like all-terrain vehicle can sort of like go up hills and go up mountains or whatever. But like, how many cars can go straight into lava?
So do we want that?
I can't think of a single one. I'm thinking of like Ford Focus. I'm thinking of like the Buick LaCrosse, and
Yeah,
I
those are
know
the
that
only
these
ones I
cars
think of,
cannot. Those are the only ones I've driven into lava, so I know for sure from firsthand experience
Have you tried the Corolla?
that
It's
they're not going
pretty
to
sturdy.
stand.
Have you driven that one into lava?
Oh,
Okay, so
I haven't.
It may not
Couldn't
be.
get my hands on it.
It may
Too
not
pricey.
be like such a cornered market then, but I guess that should be a feature that we should have.
I
yeah,
still think a
okay,
good
so we-
feature.
No computers.
So we're gonna go computerless,
Right.
lava proof.
Just simple.
All right. What else we got to add to this thing?
I think, and this is sort of just a preference from me, no cup holders either.
Hell yeah, brother.
I think there should be a flask holder.
One for flask.
Okay, I do like that. The only liquids allowed is booze. How about that?
In a flask.
No windshield fluid.
Well,
Yeah.
we would need a computer to verify that the liquid is booze, unfortunately.
Maybe there could be a guy in each Cybertruck just to check if it's booze or not.
That is an interesting idea, and this actually opens up an entire new sort of paradigm of features here. If we're including like people coming with the car,
You know, I've talked to Elon Musk a couple times. We actually did a Tesla logo on him at the shop, and you know I know this as well as anybody else. He loves to push those boundaries. He loves to say that's not possible, and he'll go, yes, it is. And so I don't think this would be a problem with him.
Well, plus it would create jobs, and that's really the end goal, right?
and especially like right now with COVID-19 going on and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I think what better than to have your car shipped with a couple people inside.
Mm-hmm. Now, I personally drive a 2013 Chevy Cruze, and I found my favorite thing about this vehicle that I don't see in a lot of other vehicles is a check engine light. It's always on there. It's always on, and it's always saying, "Hey, check out the engine," and it's always like, "Thanks." It is good to remember. And other cars, other cars just don't have those, or maybe
they
just
expect
like,
you to
off.
remember it yourself that you're supposed to check the engine every once in a while. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So I would like to have a light that indicates, hey, maybe check in on your friends.
That sounds like a computer. Sounds like a computer to me. So I think if we could go around that, we could draw a picture of check engine light on maybe his palm or the bottom of his foot, and he holds it up.
It's not just one indicator light. Like, it's got to be a lot of things indicating. So maybe there could be just like an artist next to the booze checker that just kind of sketches out, hey,
Perfect.
maybe
No,
check on
I
the
guess-
wheels.
Synergy. That's synergy.
I'm actually gonna maybe kind of give an opportunity for you guys. Maybe instead of a typical old school artist that uses, a pen and paper to draw the check engine light, why don't we talk to a couple of circumcision artists who could maybe notch that bad boy into the owner's schling schlong?
Oh, wow, okay.
I think this is all you because I'm about to retire, and I don't think there's ever the check the football light that comes on in any cars.
But this is our car. Is this something we need to be adding to it?
Check the football light.
Like a check the football
Yeah.
light, check the basketball light, check the Nike logo light. These sort of things.
And will the light
mean,
be through? How bright will the light be? Because I assume that they will wear undergarments, and trousers and whatever. So these are concerns that I have. Like
Ooh.
for the driver, will this inconvenience them? Will it be uncomfortable at any point? It sounds like the culture that you guys are from is a lot different from what I've come to know in terms of private
well,
parts.
maybe instead of like messing with what we've already come up with, we just give them comfort in another area so
Okay.
they're happy. So what's a way that we can make our driver more comfortable?
You know what really something that bothers me about my car and when I'm in other cars is I'm just so annoyed by the radio. Do we need to have speakers in there? Because to me, nothing beats live entertainment.
Okay. Yes. So we bring in a band.
Well, I was thinking more like maybe if we could get Jason Mraz, we could sort of get him in the mix.
I'm sorry, this might be a personal thing. I just don't like music. I'm not a big music guy.
I just don't understand why there's speakers in my truck and music is coming out and not a guy speaking.
Okay. Would you rather have?
Now, what if maybe because I listen to podcasts when I'm driving around in my car. Like, do you think maybe we can get like a live podcast in each
You're thinking
Cybertruck?
maybe try to get like an Ira Glass inside of the Cybertruck when you purchase it.
I think that would be a good idea. That would move a lot of
simplify
units.
things.
I mean, can we consolidate this? Can Ira Glass be the alcohol checker and also penis cutter that goes with you on your journeys?
I don't know.
This is the kind of thinking that Elon loves. I love it. And I know Elon's going to too. He's going to freak. That's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
You take 3 mechanisms, get it down into one. Powerful.
All right. I mean, we just need one more sort of like something to take it home. Something we can really put on the board meeting for
this,
we can put on the
when we were in the
commercial.
board meeting,
You
we're
know?
Truck bed's in the front. Truck bed, there it is, fellas. Truck bed is in the front, so you'd see all the goods you got in there.
Always keep an eye on your stuff. That's amazing. And you know, if you're moving something bigger like a mattress or something like that, you can sort of like appreciate, hey, you know what? Look at the stuff that I've earned throughout my life.
Yeah, look at how
You know?
in the way this is.
I like that your example was a mattress
Yeah,
because
it just-
yes, every time I'm moving a mattress, I'm thinking, look at what I've done.
I finally made it.
Wait, do you have a truck with a truck bed in the front of the truck? 'Cause
No.
How do you
I have a
okay, so you
mattress.
drive in reverse when you move.
There are other ways to look at mattresses.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess that is true. All right. I mean, I think we can
I
sort
think
of
we're
wrap a
done.
bow on this thing.
Yeah,
All right. We're just going to send it over to, I don't know, the car maker place. Is that like a
'cause
website?
you don't have direct contact with Elon at any given time. He contacts you.
Not after the bocce ball game, I'll tell you
Okay.
that. Yeah, he completely. So we'll have to figure that out in a sort of roundabout way, I guess. But all right, I think we got it.
Hell yeah.
Well, hey, thanks so much for having us on their program. If you're in the Redford, Michigan area and you're looking for a trim, come by O'Cuddigan's, and he'll be leaving. Let's just say you're gonna wish he had a Cybertruck so you wouldn't have to drive it home. Also 21 and up.
Okay. And for anyone who wants to, maybe if they don't live in the area, if they want to kind of follow you or keep track of anything you're posting, do you have anything to promote?
Saturday nights at the Parlor at O'Cuddigan's, 12458 7 Mile Road, 7 Beach Daily. We have a live comedy show where we have a podcast come and do circumcision-based and penis-based jokes. They're called the Big Time Garbage Fellas, and they have a podcast that is on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher.
Yeah, and also if you want to leave a message, we have a phone number. It's 313-HAS-Z-GAS, and you can leave one.
HASZGAS, and we will play it to everyone at the parlor at the Parlor.
For circumcisions. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you to our guests, Dr. Patsy-Cline and Dr. O'Cuddigan.
Dr. McPatsycline.
Mick Patsy-Cline. Our
you.
two Sergians who took their time out of their busy schedule to come on the show. Thank you to our producer Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House.
Making your way in the world today, it takes everything you got. It takes everything you got.
Yeah, and cheers to that, bud.
Now, Dr. London, I have one question, and the question is this. Do you want to go where everybody knows your name?
Get to cutting. Cutting. Get to 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 cutting.
It takes everything you got.
Get to cutting.
It takes everything you got.
Get to cutting. Get to cutting.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Oh, oh, oh.
Get to cutting.
My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
See ya.
Cutting.
It takes everything you got.
Get to cutting.
It takes everything you got.
Cutting. Get to cutting.
You reach out hesitantly and grab the baton. The hand that was holding it immediately lets go as the hand's owner leans over, panting. You hold the baton in front of you, amazed at how shiny and cylindrical this mysterious object is. The crowd's chanting was once, very recently, very affirming, but now seems to be changing in tone to angry yelling and booing, but you cannot take your gaze from the baton's allure. You hear the words, "Not again," stir up in the wind, distantly, as your coach runs up and snaps his fingers in front of your face multiple times to get your attention. And by golly, it works. You look into his cold blue eyes as he stares past yours into your soul. "We talked about this, remember?" he asks, the depths of your spirit. "When they pass you the baton, it's your turn to run. That's what makes it a relay race. Please just run." You laugh and you hug him, pretending to understand. Seeing him staring impatiently at the baton, you realize what he must want, so you hand it to him. And in a confusing turn of events, he seems even more frustrated. But this is where you draw the line. You do not tolerate bad vibes. So you back away, slowly at first, but then you start picking up your pace and running back the way you came. Good vibes only. Speaking of good vibes, don't forget to leave a 5-star review of the Jock podcast, in which you share about the vibes you feel regarding team-based athletics. And consider supporting us by becoming a patron on the Jock podcast Patreon. And while you're at it, go ahead and share the Jock podcast with a friend or foe. You can send them a link to your favorite episode, or just send them our handy website, jockdocpodcast.com. And don't forget to take a peek at our posts on social media. We are at Jock Podcast. Thanks for listening.